Okay, listen. You do not need to have what you want to be able to feel it. I'll say that again. You do not need to have what you want to be able to feel it. All those people that know a little bit more about the process of manifestation, or the people that are learning for it, or they're into this, they know exactly what I talk about. You don't need to have it to be able to feel it. In the process of manifestation, the law of attraction, the law of vibration, like what Einstein says, everything is energy, and it is proven that you get what you are and you do not manifest what you want. So just give me 5 minutes or 10 and I will try to explain. Okay, so it's all about the feeling good, right? So it's not about what it is that you want, it's about the feeling that you will get with whatever that it is that you want. Let me explain. If I like to travel, or better said, I'm going to travel, but if I do not like to travel, I don't want to travel. Does that make any sense? In my case, I like to go to travel because it makes me feel good, right? If I would like to have a house on the beach, but the beach doesn't tell me anything, then I don't want to have the house on the beach, but I want it, for example, in the mountains. Why do I want my house in the mountains? Because I love the mountains. So I do not want to have a house on the beach. I want to have a big car and I don't want to have a small car if I can choose, and I can choose. Why do I want to have a big car? Because the big car makes me feel good. And a small car doesn't make me feel so good as the big car. So finally, anything that you would love to have in your life is because it makes you feel good. At least that is what we think, that it will make us feel good, right? I want my kids to be happy. Oh yeah, but I'm a mom. Of course, every mother wants their kids to be happy. I know. But in the strangest case, if my kids being happy would not make me feel good to me, I would not want that. But because I know it makes me feel amazing if my kids live a happy life, obviously that is what I want. So it's not what I want, it's the feeling, the emotion that will be created through whatever that it is that I would love in my life, right? So one of the first steps is ask yourself the question, what do I really love in my life? What do I want? When you can create clarity about what it is that you truly love in your life, and I would go to 5 areas of your life. First, health and mentality, well-being, your love relations and your relationships, your vocation, your freedom in time, and your freedom in money. If it's difficult for you to answer the question, what do I love? What do I really want? And for many people it is, then start to go to every area and ask yourself, what do I do not like? What do I don't like in my health? The way that I eat, my body. What do I not like in, perhaps you do not have a partner and you would love to have one, or you have one and there are a lot of things that you don't like. Write down what you don't like. Always go to what it is that you know and start from there. And many times through our discontents, we can start to understand what it is that we truly love. So if I'm having overweight, if I'm not moving enough, if I'm eating not healthy, write it down. Please write it down. Don't hold it in your hand. Write it down. And then afterwards, if you have done all the 5 domains, then you go back and you say, okay, this is what I don't want. But most of the time, that what we don't want, we want to have the opposite. So if I'm having an overweight, I probably would like to have an ideal weight, right? Okay, so now that you have clarity about what it is that you want, in the process of manifestation, it's all about feeling good. And differently said, it's all about having a high energetic frequency. You don't need to understand it completely. I just would like to ask you, experiment with it for the moment, okay? So if it's always about a high energetic frequency, when do I have a high energetic frequency? When I feel good, no matter what. Most of the time, we're not feeling so good because we allow our circumstances to control our emotional state, right? And we depend on whatever that is going on outside of us to feel good. Well, in that case, we are being a victim of our circumstances. And it's all about training yourself to be able to control your emotions no matter what happens around us. That doesn't mean that we're not allowed to feel sad or frustrated or angry. It's not about that. That's our part of being a human. But it is all about, what are you going to do with those feelings? Allow them, and then you let them go, right? So going back, it's all about the feelings that we are going to get through whatever that is what we want. It's all about feeling good. And I also said that we can feel without having what we want. We can create the feeling as if I already have it. Yes, we must have clarity about what it is that you truly want in your life. You must write it down. That's one job. Then the other job is, we have to create the feeling like we already have it. But there's the thing, and that is the trigger. I would like to have to want a beautiful romantic relationship in my life, right? That's what I have very clear. The way that I want it, the way that I would love it, blah, blah, blah. But what happens then? There is something inside of our system that is called the subconscious mind. In that subconscious mind, we have about 90% of unaware thoughts. So the second step that is so often overlooked is that we must create awareness. We have to become aware about the unaware thoughts. So if these are 90% of our thoughts, that means that 9 thoughts out of 10, we are just not aware of them. We don't even know that they exist. Though these thoughts are the ones that keep on blocking us constantly, as long as we do not achieve what it is that we love. And results never lie. So you can say to yourself, oh no, I have everything done and I know everything and all that. Amazing. Do you know how you can check if that is truly the way? Just look at your results. If you truly have everything that you achieve and you can achieve it over and over again, everything that you wish for, hey, then you truly have done an incredible job. There are a lot of people that just do it naturally, but most of us, they don't. Why? Because in our subconscious mind, we have so many beliefs that are based upon a negative, contracted, heavy energy. Why? Because we have learned, we have been trained, we have taken for granted so many thoughts, so many beliefs, and a belief is a thought that we repeated, or not even us, but the society, our caretakers, our family, school, once upon a time in our childhood, we have been started to taking them for granted. So they formed kind of like a hardware and programming in your subconscious mind. Just for a simple example, if once upon a time people told you that you had to behave in a certain way, and when you did that, you were kind of like rewarded for that, and you were accepted and valued and seen for that, and that happened over and over. So you started to understand that if I do what other people want me to do, or what I believe that they want me to do, then I'm valued. And if you have also experienced, especially as a child, that when you didn't do what they asked you to do, you were punished. So what did that do to your subconscious mind? You started to understand, Even though as an adult, you now know that that's not the way it works, though in your subconscious mind, that is still the programming where so many things are based upon. And they are so trained that it's your instinct, it's your naturality, it's your automatic pilot. And these are our unaware thoughts. So it's our job to train ourselves to become aware of those unaware thoughts so I can see them, I can get them, I can recognize them, and I can change them. And to be able to do that, we have to train ourselves again, but not as when I was a little child, because that happened unconsciously. Now we have to become intentional thinkers. Okay, so we have to learn to notice what we're noticing. And the only way that we can do that, and the fastest way, is by using your emotions. And your feelings, our emotions are always a product of your emotions. Your feelings do not just pop up like that. They are always a product, always, of your thoughts. And your thoughts, most of them, remember, 90%, 9 of every 10 thoughts, and they say we have around 60,000 thoughts a day. So that means that these thoughts that you're not even know about, you don't even know they exist. It's like living in a house and you have a secret room in that house and you're not even aware that that secret room exists in your house. And in that secret room are all your experiences and all the things and all the traumas and all those things that you started to take for granted once upon a time in your life. Okay? So it's for us to discover that room, that secret room, so we can start to work with it. You don't need to go through it. You just need to become aware of the unaware thoughts. And the only way that you can do that, in my perspective, the fastest way, is by using your negative emotions. So you have to learn how to notice what you are noticing, what you are feeling. And in the second that you feel heavy, contracted negativity, then you know that there is a thought, because the thought always, there is never an exception about that. Your thought is always the cause of the way that you feel and your emotion, the effect. So it always comes from the inside out and not from the outside in, which means that we have always believed that our circumstances create the way that I feel. No, it's the other way around. My feelings and my emotions are always a product of a thought, of a belief. And those beliefs are often based upon worries or fear-based. Okay? So if you put all this together, then you have the process of manifestation. Now, the thing is that it is as simple as it sounds, but sounding simple doesn't mean that it is easy. And there is where I come in. And that is why I have this incredible workshop of 3 hours where I'm going to help you to start to create clarity about what is the answer on the question, what do I want in my life? What is it that I truly love? And I also give you 3 keys what will help you to work even further with all these things, right? And then there is my 12-week program. And in the 12-week program, you learn to get that clarity again. You learn how to bridge from where you are to where you want to go, exactly as a GPS. You cannot activate a GPS if you don't know where you are, your discontents and your longings, and if you don't know where you want to go. Clarity about what your life would look like if you have everything that you would love. Okay? And for us to be able to work on that resistance, there are steps and things that we must do. Okay? And then obviously there is another process, and then finally you become it. And Abraham Hicks, I love it, they explain it like this. There are 5 steps. you ask. Always, to be able to ask anything, you need to have clarity about what it is that you want, right? If not, there is not a lot of questions. So give me a second. So ask whatever you like. You need clarity. Step number 2, you don't do anything. That's universe steps. You ask, you let it go, and universe starts to respond to that. But then it's your job to meet what it is that you would love. So you meet the vibration, the frequency of your desired future, what you're asking for. That's your job. And there you need to know some steps, and there is some work for that to do as well. Okay? You have to be willing. Everybody is capable, but the big question is, are you willing to do whatever that it takes? And that is also something that a lot of times has not or will not be done, because it's something that you do every day, every minute, every breath you take. But the good thing is, the more you practice it, the better you become in it. Okay, like driving a car, believe me, it truly is. So step number 1, you ask. Step number 2, you don't do anything. That's universe side. Step number 2, you start to work on meeting the vibration, which only means that you start to feel like you already have it. And again, you do not need to have whatever that it is that you want to be able to feel it. You can use your imagination. We are created in such a way. That's why always those people talk about, you have the power within. It's all within, right? So it's your work to start to walk the path of least resistance, meaning you take out all the resistance, which is all the negative vibrations that you send out, and you start to meet the vibration of the things that you desire, your desired future. Step number 4 is that you stay in that vibe. That's a job as well, but it gets easier. And step number 5, well, you start to have contrasts again, because there you have what you want, you get it, and then you start to understand that, hey, you've got more longings. That's part of us being a human being. That's the expansion that we are in. We always want more. Yes, we have learned, we have been trained that we as a child cannot want everything that we want. But there, they made a big mistake. And I did the same thing to my kids. I learned that I must be happy with this, but I cannot have it all. Why do I need to have it all when I have to be, and I must be happy with this? Now I learn you. Why not be happy? And that's what I meant, grateful. You have to be grateful with this. You cannot have it all. Why not be happy and grateful for this one and wanting to have more? That's the abundance. As long as we are in a mindset when we are saying, no, I have to be happy with this. I don't need more. It's not about needing more. It's about what you want. And the more you have, and I'm not talking only about money. Abundance is everything. The more money I have, for me nowadays, money is freedom. Money is creativity, being creative. The more money I have, the more I can do for other people, right? So it's crazy. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's all about changing the way that you think. It's changing your perspective. So I can be grateful for this, and I can want more and be grateful for this as well. Why not? There is abundance. There is enough. If we think about limitations, then we unconsciously believe that there is not enough. But what if I tell you that there is an infinite, like the sea? I've got the sea over there. There is an infinite, there is abundance, like the infinite amount of the sea. If you take a cup of water out of the sea, you're going to see that? No. If you take a bucket of water out of the sea, you're going to notice it? No. If you take a whole bathtub of water out of the sea, you're not going to notice it. The infinite, the divine, is as well the same. So when you are in step 5, you start to learn to love and appreciate the contrast, because the contrast, your discontents and your longings, they only show you what it is that you want. And then you're back in step 1. And that's the process of manifestation. Though most of the time, we're not aware of that. We're not aware of the vibration that we send out because that's our unaware subconscious part of our being that is controlling the vibe that we send out. Does it start to make more sense? What you probably already know? Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you for your time. I hope this serves you. Give me some comments in the comments below. If you have any questions, ask me anything you want, please. I love the questions I get. I use them, not with your name, but I also use questions to share in my Instagram. I started to do that. I love it. I love questions because they make me think as well. So please, any question you might have, a crazy question does not exist for me. So if you have any question that has to do with this material, or a question about a bit more about the way that I do it, but it's the same. It's exactly what I'm telling you. Please share them with me. Have a great day, and we see each other soon. Bye-bye.